All right, we are recording.
Yes, thank you. So, hi everyone. I'm Leyli Seyfi, Associate Professor at the University of Birjan and Chair of the Marketing Committee of International Entrepreneurship and Libraries Conference, which will take place on 1st and 2nd November. Today, I'm going to do a short interview with Steve Cramer, Business and Economic Librarian and Professor, Coleman Fellow for Entrepreneurship Education. Hi, Steve. Good morning. Could you please introduce yourself?
Certainly, Professor Leyli. Thank you. Yes, my name is Steve Cramer. I am the Entrepreneurship Librarian at University of North Carolina at Greensboro, over here in the Eastern Seaboard of North America. And librarians at my school do have the rank, are members of the faculty. My rank is professor, although my main job is a librarian. So that is a position I enjoy, and we may talk about why in a few minutes, I suspect.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So I want to ask a question from you, Steve. As a business and economic librarian, what kind of services you are providing to the users and to the community?
All right. In terms of campus users, there's really three main things that I think fill up most of my work as a librarian. There's other additional activities, but the three main things include teaching and instruction. Sometimes we call it teaching, sometimes instruction, and I really mean the same thing by that. We may elaborate on that in a minute. Collection development, so making sure that we have access to journals and ebooks and print books, and also data sets and databases for our members of our campus to use to help solve problems and advance their research needs. And the third thing would be consultations, which happen both with individuals, students and faculty members, but also student teams. Many of our students work in teams on a project within a class. And so giving them small group or one-on-one advice on how to create a research agenda to further their needs and try to solve problems. So teaching, collections, consultations, I think those are my three main roles working with faculty and the students at UNCG regarding entrepreneurship and business and economics.
Oh, that's
in terms of
great.
community members, it's similar. Occasionally do workshops in the community, like we have a Chamber of Commerce in Greensboro. Most cities in the United States do, in Canada also, I believe, and maybe other countries as well, in which the members are business persons who get together for networking, but also for training, how to learn something new to help their business or help start a business, perhaps. And occasionally I do training on those topics. And then also occasionally also consultations where they want to measure their market size better or pursue some industry benchmarking. And then I help them find that data so they can take that data and then make a decision and hopefully improve their business. So that is examples of my community work as a entrepreneurship business economics librarian.
Oh, that's great. And I would like to know that what kind of challenges you are facing, like during this kind of service providing?
Okay, sure. And there are certainly many of them that vary depending on audience and situation. There is certainly in the United States and many other countries as well, a rich selection of subscription access databases and tools, websites, journals, newspapers, magazines, data sets that we could purchase or subscribe to if we only had enough money in our budget to do so. So balancing providing access to subscription or proprietary information sources, that has long been a challenge to try to decide what is the most efficient collection of items for my library to subscribe to pay for, to benefit the needs of our students, faculty, and sometimes community members as well. More personally, one challenge is simply keeping up with developments in entrepreneurship and in the business world economics and creating concepts. And for example, a big trend now is data analytics. So I have to research what that means and how to, and not to say that I need to become an expert in how to, say, use the R database, for example, or software, or use other kinds of software to analyze data sets. but I need to know enough to get someone started and to give them proper directions and even refer them to an expert on campus who can help them with a very specialized, say, software programming need. So simply keeping up with my own skills and own knowledge of entrepreneurship, research needs, statistical analysis, et cetera, is challenging. And that's an ongoing activity regarding reading, listening, workshops, continual development, continual education to maintain those skills. So budgets really, as the case for many libraries I know across the world, and also skills, making sure my skills stay up to date. That those are two ongoing challenges of providing illustrations and teaching for entrepreneurship students.
Yeah, that's really great to know. And you mentioned about skills, like skills of librarian. I would like to know, like in details, if you please explain in details, what kind of skills do librarians need for providing entrepreneurship services in the libraries?
That's a great question. I teach a 3-credit class or a regular length class each spring semester in the United States, entrepreneurship research. And there are 4 main topics. And I think those 4 main topics correspond to skills that we need to support entrepreneurship, or at least I need. It varies, by campus and by city and by country perhaps too. The 4 include competitive intelligence, or just CI, which is I sometimes tell students it's just a fancy way of saying company research, competitive research. Who are your competitors? Where are they located? How much money do they make? What makes them special or not? Why are they competitive? So competitive intelligence is one. Industry data, you are comparing yourself to your competitors. You're looking at benchmarking of industry performance, for example, industry trends. Third, similarly, but for markets, who are your customers, whether they are businesses or consumers or households or individuals, citizens, right? Where do they live? What motivates them? How many are there? How much money do they spend on your product category in your target geography? So market intelligence, market analysis. And finally, overlaps a little bit, but financial benchmarking. I need to do a business plan, or I need to do my analysis of my income and profit statements. I need to work on my cash flow and my balance sheets, accounting standards to help you run your business so that you don't go out of business, so that you have enough money coming in. How can I compare what my financials should be like to competitors? And that's, you could argue, a subset of industry analysis, but it's a separate set of tools, both primary tools where you have to kind of find it yourself and published secondary tools as well. So industry analysis, competitive intelligence, market analysis, and financial benchmarking. Those are 4 of the very large skill sets I think I need to do my job at UNCG. There are certainly others out there. Some librarians work heavily with venture capital, or VC. I want to start a business. It will be a fast growth business. It will hopefully someday become a publicly traded company and have stock, right? And the New York Stock Exchange or London Exchange or the Tehran Exchange, wherever your stock exchange happens to be. And so to do that, you get venture capital by trading some stock of your startup or by selling a percentage of your company. So venture capital, how to recommend that, how to research the different possibilities for funding can be a skill set. It's not that important at my school because our students here are primarily making what we call Main Street businesses. Businesses are not meant to be national or international and become really large very fast. Our students are working on smaller companies to help their communities get better. A lot of our students are first-generation Americans, or first-generation college students. Their parents did not go to college, so they're trying to, in effect, improve themselves economically compared to their family history. And they also care much about solving problems in their communities. Social entrepreneurship. Let me say that again. Sorry, slowly.
Yeah.
Social entrepreneurship, where it's entrepreneurship for a social purpose. You're trying to solve a problem or make something better. That could be globally, nationally, or locally, but often it's our case, people come from a neighborhood that doesn't have enough food choices, for example. We have in the United States a problem with food deserts, meaning that it's a large population, but there's no grocery store. There's no place to go buy fresh fruit and vegetables, produce, for example, unless you travel a long ways, and we may not have a good bus system, so it might be hard to get there. So that's one very specific example of students trying to open a social entrepreneurship idea. So I mentioned venture capital. That's not something we do as much, but given our emphasis on mainstream entrepreneurship, but at other libraries, that's also a fifth skill set that is often very important. That's a long answer. I apologize, Lily.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this great knowledge that you provided for our audiences. Thank you. I would like to ask you any message for our international conference.
Well, at this point in our planning, we really hope that many of you will submit a proposal. We have both, as you'll see this on the website, we have both opportunities to submit for a workshop, but also a 7-minute short talk, lightning round, or just a very short session. We would love to know what you are doing in your countries, what opportunities you're encountering, what challenges you're encountering, so that we can learn from you and learn from each other, and maybe even engage in a conversation and support each other. So that is my suggestion. And also simply sign up to it. We'll do signups later on this fall, but please attend and listen. And we have some networking opportunities as well, just to meet some librarians from around the world doing entrepreneurship, maybe in your own country, maybe in other countries as well, hopefully in other places as well. So we encourage you to both submit your programming ideas as well as simply attend and engage and share. And we would love to learn from you, and hopefully you will learn from everyone else who is engaged in this project as well.
Thank you so much, Steve, for your valuable time and valuable ideas and knowledge that you provided during this short interview. And thank you so much. We will continue interviewing with entrepreneurship librarians, and hopefully, as you said, we learn each other. And this is, I feel that this is great opportunity for all of us to learn from each other. Thank you so much for your valuable time.
Thank you.